Hey y'all, it's Vicki and welcome to a new video. Today is Monday, February 23rd, 2026, and it is 7:23 a.m. and it's like 28 degrees. I looked at the thermometer before I sat down because I don't have my watch on yet. Anyway, I thought I'd come on here before I got in the car and just talk to you a little bit about Tim this weekend. I know there's been numerous videos done. I know Ray did a live last night, so I don't really have a lot to add, but I will talk about him possibly moving or whatever he claims is going to be exciting news coming up. And he said in a couple of days, which I'm assuming that means he'll announce it and then it'll happen the first of the month. Now, I'm going with the assumption he could be moving somewhere in Bradenton, Sarasota area. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with he's moving across the state to somewhere around Palm Beach County. Not exactly maybe there. I'm not sure. I did look up the campground. I know that it's the one he lives at now, the RV park is, or resort, whatever you want to call it, is owned by a corporate. So they have campgrounds all over the country, or RV parks. I keep saying campgrounds, but it's RV parks or communities, RV communities. Okay, there is one that they own across the state at Jensen Beach. But now when I look at this, they have a lot of homes also they sell. It's an active 55 plus community. I would think that the rent is too high for him. But, you know, I don't know that. You know, Tim's always making these deals. Maybe he made a deal where he could go over there for the same price he's paying now. Now, the reason I think that he's moving across state is because, you know, we know that there's a certain person that has bought a condo there in that area. And we saw a different person when Tim was on the East Coast versus the West Coast. He just seemed happier on the East Coast. Now, you know, he keeps saying he's going to travel. You know, I think now it's when the time changes. So we'll see if that happens. Like I said, you know how Tim travels. It's to truck stop to truck stop. That's why I think that he's mentioned maybe taking the Flagstaff now. But see, if he's found a place to put it on the East Coast, then he may not take it. We'll see as time goes on if he really travels or not. But as far as him moving to the East Coast, I just feel like that's the way it would lean toward. Because right now he's 3.5 hours or 4 hours away. And that's a long trip. We know he's selling about everything he's got. So that would mean he's selling it because he don't want to move it. And I do think that, I know some have asked where the golf clubs are. I think they're either at that condo across the way or they're at Fred and Raphael's is where I think they may be. But that's neither here nor there. We'll probably see them now that we're all mentioning. Where are they? Where are they? So probably suddenly we'll see them. Because I think he kind of keeps them hid on purpose just to antagonize us. That's what I think. Anyway, this one part that I was looking at, and I'm not going to mention it because you can Google just like I can. Y'all know I don't dox people, and the reason I'm not going to say what it is because if he ends up there, I don't want to be the one to dox him. But just know, if you Google Sun Communities, you can see where all they have campgrounds at. So you'll know where I'm talking about. Anyway, by looking on here, this does not look like a place that fits in his budget. But as I said, I didn't think where he lived at fit in his budget, but I guess I was wrong. Other thing was, I listened to the one with him cooking. I did not, you know, I was putting on my makeup, so I was trying not to look at the screen because y'all know I can't stand to see him cook. But I was just listening to it. And I know that he talked about eating apples. So here again, we have this person that's promoting carnivore when he should be saying, as I said before, he needs to be saying the way I used to say it, and that was meat-based. Because he is not carnivore. He is meat-based, protein-based, whatever you want to call it, but he is not carnivore. Now, some people that do claim to be carnivore will eat fruit when it's in season. And I guess there's some place that there's apples in season right now. I don't know. But I don't think they're in season where he's at. So, all right, let's see what else he's done that is kind of questionable. I have to...
Morning, everybody.
Now, I did see Sarasota Tim's video this morning on You've Been Served, and I saw JJ's too. And both of those were pretty funny. Because Ray did make it public on her live last night that she did have him served with papers. So he'll have to go to court now if he's going to fight it. And we're all betting he won't go. And, you know, I guess what I want to say about that is I think by us betting that he won't go, he won't show up, he might show up. That's just me. I always think the opposite, especially when you start calling him out, because I still believe he would have never bought that gold wing if we hadn't been saying he didn't have the money to buy it. Sorry about that. I thought I had cut the alarm off, and there it went off. So I apologize again. I know that gets old in these videos. But as I said before, y'all, I'm just going to be me. And if there's a mistake in the video, if I say don't when I'm supposed to say does it, it's just me being me. And, you know, I had somebody make that comment the other day that I was saying don't where it was supposed to be doesn't and blah, blah, blah. Y'all, if you're going to judge me because of that, then I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. I am me. And I'm not going to be something that I'm not anymore on this app or these videos. I talk the way I talk. Now, yes, I could change it, but I'm talking to y'all just like I would be if I was sitting at you from across the table. I've said that many times. If we were just having a cup of coffee, lunch, whatever. That's the way I talk. And I'm sorry if you don't like it. I mean, I really am, but I'm just not going to change. I am 66 years old. I'm not changing now. It's never held me back before. So I got that out, and I just happened to think about it. So I got that out, and I'm going to go on, and we're going to talk about Tim saying, we'll go back to the carnivore.
Hey, good morning.
He says, carnivore is simple. It is simple if you can follow it, but we've seen that Tim can't follow it. Now, I do not believe for 1 minute that he lost 5 pounds, and the way he was talking in less than 24 hours. I mean, why did he get on the scales? If he's going to talk about what he weighs or what his goal is, then he needs to be showing it on screen. Now, and that's coming from somebody who used to do weight loss videos. I used to do them. I stopped because you are judged. You're judged if you don't lose it. You're judged by you weigh too much, blah, blah, blah. So my thing is that you just don't mention it. You don't mention your goals. I mean, yeah, I can say I want to lose 25 pounds, but that's different than saying I weigh 183 and I want to weigh, and I'm just bringing that number up because that's what Tim says his goal is. I thought it was at 180, but I guess he changed it. Anyway, then saying you want to weigh 100, you know, you weigh 183 and then you want to weigh 150. You know, 150 for my height is still too much. Anyway, I'm not saying how much I weigh. Y'all can go back and look at my videos if I left any up and you can see how much I weigh. I don't care about that, but I'm not going to bring it up again, and Tim should not bring it up unless he's going to get on that scales and prove it. All right. Yeah, I'm on a tangent here. I guess you could say I'm ranting. Anyway, somebody left a comment. I'm looking at the comments right now on this one about carnivore. It says he has a lot of secret admirers out there, that's for sure. I don't know who the secret admirers are. You're seeing me on camera. I'm not hiding, but I'm not an admirer. I'm somebody who talks about Tim because I have a community that wants me to talk about Tim. If they don't want me to talk about Tim, they just tell me. Or don't watch. And like I said, as long as I'm getting at least 200 views on a Tim video, I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to keep talking. Uh-oh, light blink. I don't know what that was. Y'all, the wind's been blowing, and we didn't get any kind of high wind warning. But last night, the wind howled more than I've heard it, and I don't know when. And I went back on the weather stuff, and there was no warning of high winds, no warning of, sometimes you'll get that wind advisory. Nothing. So that tells me, I'm on to something else now, I'm sorry. So that tells me we don't have anybody in the Blacksburg National Weather Service on the weekend now. All that's been cut back. Now, I don't think weather should have been cut back, but that's just me. I think there's other things we could have cut back on than cut back into who works at the weather. So, whatever. I guess I could have gave my own warning. So, and this is something I should do on the other channel, but I'm going to mention it here anyway, because I just saw it. If you've not seen the video of Vince McMahon, who originally owned the WWE, the video of his crash that he had last year, then you need to see it, because it's really wild. And who knows what's going to happen. And the ironic thing about that was the case of the person that is suing him, they also set a date for arbitration on the same day. So it's like they wanted the accident video to come out on the same day to take away from that part of the harassment or whatever kind of lawsuit is against them. And it's arbitration. They are not going to have a jury at this. I figured it would be a trial by jury and he would have no chance. But with the arbitration, which I know he's already paid her off one time, but from what I understand, he did not continue to pay her because she ran her mouth. It's wild, y'all. That's what happens when you have lots of money, I guess, and you do things that you shouldn't. And everything I said, though, is allegedly. I don't know that. I don't know what he did behind closed doors. I don't know how he was when you worked for him. All that good stuff. So I'm going to shut up now before I get myself in trouble. And I hope y'all have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.